Well, boys, it's time to get forklift certified because that's what's next up in the kit builds. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, some of you may have noticed that some of my HUD was cut off lately. Apparently, I had something wrong with my OBS, but I fixed it. I just recently noticed it, so by recently, I mean the video before last time. My first fix didn't work. I thought it had something to do with my taskbar, but it didn't. But it's all fixed now. So we're all hunky-dory now. And also, I'm not gonna make any promises, but I'm going to try and stream the Frozen Tracks campaign from my Xbox if I can figure it out. Might do some tests later while this video is uploading. And also, I apologize to anyone who was in the chat yesterday who thought I wasn't paying attention. I was there, and I was, but for some reason, some of the chat wasn't showing up until I restarted my, had to click away and come back. I don't know why it was doing that, but it was. So, if anyone attended the premiere of the last one yesterday, that was why. And I just thought I'd let y'all know that. Alright. I'm really hot for Frozen Tracks. Like, Trailmakers community has been wanting actual tank tracks for a long while. And for the longest time, we've all been kind of faking it with combinations of. For those who want the look, they usually use piston glitches. Those who want the function will do multiple engines. The easier and more popular option is to do 3 engines, but I use 2 and some logic to get mine done personally. It makes it slightly lighter. Save a little space too. But yeah, actual tank tracks. That's pretty epic. I've known about it for a while, but at this point, it's practically around the corner. It's pretty neat. How one goes on the actual rack. I also was thinking about doing a little stream over the weekend. Maybe we could build like a little go-kart or something. I have something in mind for a potentially cool little go-kart in this game. Or maybe I could just play casually play something and just stream it, you know, and y'all can just come hang out. You know, real casual stream and all that. So if anyone would like that, let me know. I am trying to get some engagement with y'all, but not only just because just because I do want to get, I'm trying to get a little big on YouTube. I mean, I'm not stressing if I don't, but what's going on here? Am I doing something wrong? Damn. Anyway, it wants to be like that. There we go. Now that wants to go there. But being a big YouTuber would be cool. But that one's not really lining up. Wendy's is the wrong size, I think. We'll try it. So that looks like it's 2 blocks away. Yep. Yeah, I'm just wilding, but let's try this. There we go, it's just weird placement on the ground. Please forgive my stupidity. I don't know how I put that there. Hism has failed me. There we go. Also might try and figure out a way to do this on a controller, or at least get like a Wii nunchuck thing to move around, because might be a little easier. That one goes there, methinks. But yeah, I'm it's just around the corner, so I'm pretty hyped for Frozen Tracks. There are a lot of trailmakers are, though. I doubt Flashbulb will, even knows I exist, but, I would like to, like them to do a little bit more on the gallery for the Xbox version, because it seems like they don't actually give a shit about the moderation. Even on top of the massive build stealing problems, another way is thing is just the amount of inappropriate things that are on the gallery. I'm not too sure about the PC version because I don't really play it that much. I usually play it when I have some content when I do content. But if I can get the Xbox thing to record, get my Xbox to record properly, assuming my jerry rigging works. Then I might not need to even use it for that. There we go. Did that a little wrong. Of course, it's facing the exact wrong way for me to place it where I want to. Because, you know, it makes sense. Alright. See. Alright. I don't believe I ever even drove this thing, let alone built it. So this will be the first time I'm driving it. We'll see how she is. Honestly, I think the headlights would look a little better there. And top set on the sides, but again, that's just my opinion. This is a good example of that wedge thing I was talking about that they could add. Essentially, just be a wedge without these connecting bits on the side, and would allow for nicer looking through those, and a combination of the older wedges and slopes and things like that would make it way not easier to build something good looking that doesn't use the build tool. You know, don't get me wrong, the build tool does allow you to do a lot. But it'd just be cool if you didn't need a script mod to do them. I know some stuff there's glitches you can do it, but I would like to have like an official way to do them without the script mods. Like for node bridging, that could easily be the attachment tool, for example. Or just allow stuff that's on a axle to be attached at any angle. But it's just me. Script mods is what we got right now. But I do honestly think the node bridging could be easily fixed in a few ways to just do without the script mod. Because it is an attractive feature, but like I said, I just prefer not to use the script mods. Alright, we're getting into the gear trains and stuff. Mechanical bits are the more interesting bits. You need to turn. You need to turn. You need to turn. The gear goes in this side. And the orange pulley goes on this side. Alright, there we are. Guess that answers my question. It will have a differential. Probably gonna be very limited flip. No, because you know. One needs to transfer a lot of power since this may be an off-road forklift. Not far enough there yet to know. Go. Like a piece of construction equipment rather than a freight mover. But it might just be a little thing for warehouses. It doesn't look that big. So it's probably not going to. It might have a really open differential. But we shall see. Alright. Sort of makes me wonder if this was made in the game before the actual steering rack thing was in the game. What we got here? Oh, another big old shaft. Steering. This could have been done way more efficiently, but you know. Put you there. Allow you to rotate. And gear. Another thing that could be interesting is allowing us to stretch gears. That might be a good thing. Probably won't have too many uses, but it should have some, like in instances like that. Probably gonna be a steering wheel. That's probably why it has the shaft. There we go. Another thing that would be nice is, you know, more seat styles. An actual motorcycle seat would not go unappreciated. Now we get into the power. So you go there. You go there. Unlike the battery stuff, I actually do need to connect this one with the connection tool. There we go. Again, there's more than enough room right there for this motor, but you know, it is what it is. So where are we putting it? Oh, I'm in the wrong version. There we go. My bad. Flight case is stupid, you know, apologies. Happens to the best of us. So as Has anyone seen the new Steam stuff? Steam machine looks mighty fine, if I do say so myself. If I have some funds, I may just invest in some of the newer stuff instead of the Steam Deck. But for the moment, I have a perfectly functional setup, so... there ain't no threat. See here, personally, I would have used the ones with the curves at the end for aesthetics, but those may not have been in the game yet when this was originally built, so I find it a little hard to complain about such things, you know, because I know this particular build might be pretty old. Another thing that would be cool is having a way to play the older versions of GearBlocks, because I'd like to experience it just for I'm just interested in the history of games, both on a lore and a developmentary perspective. Did I miss something here? Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. But at the end of the day, as far as I know, there's no way to officially access the older versions of GearBlocks. But I could still learn proxy through older videos, just learning through an older video and actually experiencing it is two different things. Another thing is I'd like to experience the old versions of Trailmakers. Experience each major update through the years, you know? I know Trailmakers behaved very, very differently in its early development. But there is old footage of early Trailmakers out there. My main curiosity is to see what sort of things I could make using the knowledge I have from today. But as far as I know, those old versions of Trailmakers don't exist anymore. But luckily, it was fairly well documented. But still, I would like to. I would like to play older versions of games I love. But if it does ever happen, let me tell you, I'd be a happy camper. I'm seeing the plot now. I'm seeing what the purpose of those little plates were. Or mounts. Wonder what those are going to be used for. Of course, hindsight's 2020, you know. Well, we're about a little over halfway done. When is this going to have body panels? I know there's quite a few early things that didn't really have body panels. Most likely for performance reasons, because I think this game's been a lot more optimized since its earlier days. What are we working with now? Another actuator. You go there. You go here. Next. Worm gear, worm gear. Alright. Build the fork, it looks like. So, what's everybody doing tonight? Always down to hear about my viewers. There we go. What are we working with now? Alright, there we go. Go there. Sorry, I'm trying to think of things to talk about. But easier said than done, you know? Ain't really that much of a talker to begin with, you know. I got that tism, so. But I try to talk at least for content, even if it sounds like I'm rambling, which, you know, I kind of am, but it is what it is. There's this off-brand Lego brand I like called Mold King. They make some pretty cool sets. I like them. They're not quite as good quality as Lego, but they're not like terrible either. Perfectly acceptable. There we go. It makes a pretty neat looking buggies and Lego creator scale stuff. Like that's on the same scale as a lot of the creator expert stuff, like the 4GT or stuff of that nature, around that size. Yeah, they're a pretty good brand. I like them. They make this slick little controller battery unit that pretty good. I think Lego RC parts could be really upgraded if companies just tried instead of trying to just be compatible with everything else. They could start their own from the ground up. You know, like you can buy a full little kit from them that comes with the battery, a steering servo, and a method of propulsion that has a lot more power than the official stuff. You know, like maybe like comparable to actual like hobby grade RCs. If anything, for the torque, made with metal. Maybe it could also for a little bit more money, you could get one that has metal metal drive shafts and axles. I think that would be pretty worth it. But it's me. We got about 10 more steps, y'all. Maybe if I ever get money and a 3D printer, I could be the one to make that. Gonna need to learn some electrical stuff though. But hey, maybe one day. Alright, time for the wheels. And last but not least, bam. Alright, so this thing should be functional at the moment. Go ahead and give it a whirl. I enjoy that, how it this front wheel when it's on. Alright, so what's the issue here? Rotating, you're not. There we go. Let's try it now. Bad boy here likes to tip. He needs a little weight in the back. Maybe it worked better originally, but at least from what I can see, it's not to Fantastic These Days. Okay, next, maybe we could also have a series at some point where we try to modify these to make them better. That could be fun. What y'all think? Because this bad boy could definitely use a little bit more weight. A little light. A few hunks of lead should do the trick. I'm not sure if this thing is made of plastic or not, so... If it is, that's most of the problem. Theoretically, that could be fixed right there. Plastic's great for bodies, but they're a little lacking when it comes to frames. I could just make the whole bottom part of the chassis lead, because that center of weight is pretty high. But you can't really do nothing about it in this scenario, so. That center mass was a little high and toward the front. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that real life forklifts are insanely back and bottom heavy. But this one's definitely one of the little warehouse ones. And the weight of the actual player character don't help either. Also, personally, I think it would look better if it were the other way instead of that way. I guess it has a little bit of a body. Very open one, but still. Alright. There we go. There we go. Another nice piece to have would be like an actual corner piece for situations like this. There we go. Tacks right onto the back, huh? There we go. Maybe this is weight. There we go. Deal. If this whole thing's made out of steel. Like. Now realize the bottom tells you the material. No wonder it's I'd put some pretty hefty lead weights in the bottom of it personally. It did seem to help move the weight back though. lead will work better. There's just so many good uses for lead. Great if you put it in paint. It's great as it's heavy machinery. Makes a really good, delicious topping. You know, all sorts of stuff. There we go. And see if that at least made it handle a little better. Not really. Let's see if we can mess with that. I can pull that backwards and forwards. R goes up. How high do we go? That's not bad. Not bad at all. But still, it needs to be heavier and more back and bottom heavy, in my opinion. Or at least the horsepower, the power of the engine needs to go a little lower. Probably both. Alright, well, thank you all for watching, and y'all have a pleasant evening.